Hey Scorpio, this is your bi-weekly reading. So we are taking a look at I'm feeling this one. Yes. We are taking a look at the period of time from the new moon in Capricorn on January 11th to the full moon on January 25th in Leo. That is all in tropical astrology. These cards are so big. I'm finally getting used to shuffling them. If you guys have been watching me with these cards, I was so excited when I got them. I was like, oh God, I love how big they are. It's so cartoon-like and great. And at the same time, they're huge, so they can be difficult to shuffle. So that's the period of time that we are looking at. We're looking at the waxing phase of the moon. And in these readings, if it's your first time joining me here, welcome. Thank you for being here. These are meant to be short and sweet readings where we take a look at how to work with the energy, with the current, instead of swimming upstream, and so that we can get the maximum benefit for our life. And in these particular readings, these bi-weekly readings, I look at what is the linchpin? Where can you focus your time, energy, and attention where it will benefit all areas of your life if you were to give it some more love, right? Some more attention in that area. Not to say you neglect all other areas, but more to say that you put more, just a little bit more time and effort into this particular area. So what's coming up for you? We have the 12th house, right? So the 12th house is an interesting house. Although I feel like for a Scorpio, it wouldn't be as intense as it may be for others because of, being used to intensity, whether you're a Scorpio rising or sun sign, of course, depending on your chart. But the 12th house has to do with, we could say, alone time, right? Making space for solace. And that can, on the flip side, look like loneliness or isolation. This is a place where, there are these hard to maybe tease out pieces of our psyche. Things that are in the shadows, in the corners, and that feel almost difficult for us to name and we can't quite put our finger on it type of things, right? So it's really helpful in this area, in the 12th house, to also be tapped into your sense of whatever, your spiritual sense of whatever that is, so that you can maybe meditate or do whatever it is that you do to get some insight into this area of your life. But also, this has to do with altered states of consciousness, right? So whether that is through something like plant medicine, or like I said, meditation, or I don't know, getting out into nature, or however it is that you access these other kind of abstract liminal spaces in our existence. That's what the 12th house is about. So it is a little bit challenging to talk about because it itself is kind of elusive. However, one solid thing I can say about this, and that might kind of wrap all of that up in a more kind of concrete way, would be to say that this has to do with our mental emotional health, right? Has to do with that. So that is that area. And also, with regard to that, it can have to do with our addictions, and not necessarily substance related. That can be addiction to food, addiction to love, addiction to watching TV, whatever it is. Right? So just know that can also be a place. It's a place where we kind of can tend to sabotage things for ourselves, where we fall into the shadowy parts of ourselves. And so there is great kind of benefit to working with this area. And also it can be kind of challenging depending, right, on what your personal beliefs and practices are and the tools that you have access to. So I hope that that's clear. And when we look at the spiritual advice that's coming through for you, it looks like there's some work that you need to be doing here, right? It's basically doubling down on saying hey, you need to spend some time in this area, doing the work in this area. Focusing your time, energy, and attention in clearing out these spaces, taking care of your mental and emotional health, taking care of any kinds of habits or things that are addictive, or even maybe pulling yourself out of isolation if you've been in a state of avoidance and isolating, and it would be of most benefit and health for you to actually pull yourself out and to interact, right? There's a time and a place for us to go inward, and then there is a time where that becomes, just like anything, too much of it becomes well, too much. So we want to be mindful of that, right? So I would say, you know, this would be a really good time if you're working with this new moon. Again, go check out the video that I just put out for the new moon, for this new moon, because it's relevant to more than just the day of the new moon. It's relevant for this period of time that we're talking about for this reading, and actually going forward for the rest of 2024, in my opinion. So I would say the way I would work with this, if I had these cards and I saw this, I'd go, oh crap, okay, well, let's pull out my, like, start to be mindful about my journaling and be mindful about the thoughts that I'm thinking. What is my internal voice saying? What's the monologue that I hear? You know, what are the beliefs that I just think about the world around me, and does that need to be adjusted? You know, what's the personal work I can do here? Now, I am kind of somebody who tends to go in that direction. So if you don't, like, I think that there are a lot of different tools that you can look at out there. Byron Katie, I think, has a really great process for inquiry to help us get to, like, the meat of a situation, but that she's, like, her flavor isn't for everyone. Pema Chodron's really great. Debbie Ford is really great. So, like, they're just, like, other places that you can look to. And in a 2-week period of time, obviously it's not like you're just, like, diving into the study, but perhaps you start something now that allows you to really, like, grow and it becomes a practice that you move forward with, right? I would be curious to see, for a couple of Scorpios that I happen to know, to see, like, what is actually happening in their 12th house. So if you're familiar with your 12th house and your chart, I would also look there just to see what's going on, see what planets are transiting that particular area. So anyway, I hope that this feels helpful and insightful in some way. Please give the video a like if it was. Share this with another Scorpio so that I can, you know, just kind of get the message out. I want people to be able to benefit from these things. And then if you are not subscribed already, please also make sure to subscribe. As I said at the end of 2023, there are you know, other types of videos that I have on the horizon. It's just that there are things in motion right now that I can talk to you guys about after it's done, after it settles, but it's going to be another month or two, something like that. So anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for being here. Bye.